everyone, it's Ruby here and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Now I'm super excited because today I am finally reviewing, demoing, road testing, trying out the Huda Beauty Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation. Now I'm super excited to give this foundation a go because I have seen so many people with different skin concerns love this. If you'd like to see me review this foundation on my dry acne prone skin and give you guys a full 8-hour wear test, please keep on watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos with me and let's get on with the review. Just like I do with all my foundation reviews, I will be applying the foundation with two different tools. I will be applying the foundation on one side using the brush and then a sponge on the other side so we can compare which one applied better. So the shade that I'm using today is Custard 220N, and this is what the shade looks like swatched on the back of my arm. My ideal shade would have been Chai, but it was sold out, so I went for one shade darker, which is Custard, and as you can see, it's a little too warm for my complexion. I personally decided to skip the primer by Huda Beauty, only because most primers are geared towards those with an oily skin type. I have a dry skin type. I don't necessarily need to use a primer unless I need to smooth out the appearance and texture of my skin. I'm going to use a primer that I know works really well with my skin to give this foundation a fair go. So I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Primer. This is so affordable and very easily accessible. So I'm just going to take a small amount of this primer. I'm going to pop it mostly on the center of my face, like around my nose and my cheek area, usually where I have my open and enlarged pores. I'm also going to work it down onto my chin and jaw area because I like to lean my hands against my face and I usually take off a lot of my base product. So I really want to help my foundation last the whole entire day, even if I do have a bad habit of touching my face. So I'm starting off with one pump. This is what one pump looks like. I'm just going to stick my finger in and kind of feel around for the consistency and texture of this product. It feels kind of moussey. It's definitely thicker than your average liquid foundation. So I can tell this is going to be full coverage. So I'm going to dot this around my face because that's usually what I like to do. And then I just go in with either a sponge or a buffing brush and I start blending everything out. I'm also going to take it down onto my neck since this is a little too warm for me. I think it'll be a good color match though in the summertime when my skin gets a little bit more sun and it's a little more golden. I think there's a slight fragrance. I smell something in there. I don't know if it's a different product that I've got on underneath, but I'm just going to blend it out and see how it goes. Oh, wow. This is full coverage. Now this is a little hard to blend out, so I would recommend applying this in sections. Seems to set very quickly, but then again, it could be my skin type because I do have very, very dry skin. Wow, that looks so good. So I use just less than one pump on one side of my face, and typically I would use 2 pumps, so we'll say, you know, 1 pump to each side of my face, but this, you know, I was not expecting this level of coverage. Let me just have a look at the texture of my skin. So it hasn't really enhanced any, you know, textural issues that I've got going on my skin. You know, I usually have quite open pores and enlarged pores around this section of my face, but they seem to look, you know, really, really good. I'm just blown away by this coverage. Didn't see that one coming. I've got one more pump. I'm going to apply it using a sponge, and this time I'm going to work in sections. I feel like the sponge application will be a little more skin-like. The water inside of your sponge typically shears out your foundation. I feel like this is going to give me a little less coverage. I might need to build on certain areas, who knows. So far, so good. Let's see if it can get that pimple right there. Did you see that? Oh my goodness, did you see that? Bye, pimple. That looks so good. I actually like the look of this side of my face. It looks a little more skin-like. This looks more airbrushed. Did you see how it covered up this guy? Did you see how this pimple was literally like boom, boom, covered up? Like No dancing around the pimple, no pinpoint concealing, no blending out around the edges. Like, game changer or what? It's a close-up. Doesn't it look good? It looks so, so good. And you know what? I don't mind the shade. I think the shade looks really good. I might have to kind of perfect the foundation on the left-hand side of my face. Just a little bit. So good. While we're here, why don't we see how this, fares as a concealer? So I'm going to take my concealer brush that I always use to, blend out my under eye concealer. And let's just start taking it underneath the eyes. I have really dry under eyes, so this could look absolutely terrible and crepey, but we're going to give it a shot. We are going to give it a go. I am the guinea pig. I'm going to put my skin on the line to just give you guys a real girl's review on this foundation as a concealer. Okay, that looks really flawless. That looks really nice. I just hope it's not going to crease during my 8-hour wear test, so we shall find out soon. I'm just going to powder now using my Ride or Die loose powder. This is the Chanel Universal. Just going to tap it underneath my eyes. Wait, I'm going to do one side of my face so we can see how it looks with powder and we can compare before I apply the other side. Ooh, that looks so flawless. That looks really, really good. I really hope this wears and looks good throughout the day on my dry skin. Like, I'm hoping, I'm praying. I've got my fingers and my toes crossed. Come on, Mary, Jesus, Moses, whoever else I need to call upon to make this work. All right, babies, this is what it looks like with just a loose dusting of powder over the top. I think it looks really, really good. This is a Faux Filter All Right. Look at that. I'm treating Huda's foundation just like my everyday foundations. I'm using the exact same products, the exact same brushes, and I'm also going to set it in place using the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray because this is what I do every single day. I just like how it makes my highlighters, especially my powder highlighters, look wet. And these NARS highlighters are designed to be used wet. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the side of my face. And it's just gonna give me this glow and my skin looks so good. All right, I'm gonna stop babbling on. I, so far, right now, am really happy with this foundation. I'm happy with it underneath my eyes as a concealer. I mean, it is kind of creping, but which concealer doesn't really crepe? So I'll be back in 8 hours time to give you guys my verdict on this foundation on my dry, acne-prone skin. Hey guys, it's been a full 8 hours and I'm back. I know I look a little different. I decided to change my hair, give myself a center part, low bun type of vibe. And I got this in the mail, so of course I had to pop it on my lip. This is the Tarteist lip paint in the shade Vibin. So this is what I've got on. I just had to rip it open and pop it on. I'm sorry if I look a little different, but I just wanted to experiment and have fun and play around with makeup. So it's been a full 8 hours now and nothing much has changed. I mean, my skin still looks really flawless. My pimples are starting to poke through now, as you can see. If you guys remembered, I have a blemish, at the top here. It's kind of faded, the blemish is sort of peeking through, but like I said, it has still worn better compared to all my other foundations. I feel like this is the best foundation that I have tried for covering up my imperfections and also my blemishes. Now I do have just a little bit of creasage right here in this section. It's mainly just, the crevices that are close to my nose. Other than that, it still looks very, very flawless. It looks great. It hasn't really addressed any new textural issues on my skin, which I'm very pleased about. So if you guys are wondering whether or not this foundation is worth the hype, worth the money, I give this foundation a 10 out of 10 because the coverage on this is amazing. The fact that it looks pretty consistent with both a brush and a sponge is also fantastic. It's definitely worth being on the wait list for this foundation, so I am super happy with the way that it looks, and I do feel like I can get away with this shade because it is a really good match. Now, if you're not sure about what shade will suit you best, if you go on Huda's website, Huda breaks down and compares every single shade of her foundation to popular shades of foundations in other ranges like MAC, Rihanna, Estee Lauder, so you should be able to find the right match for you. Would I recommend this foundation for somebody who has a drier skin type? Yes, I would, but the skin prep is very important. You do need to apply your skincare. You need to wait for it to absorb so it doesn't affect the way that this foundation wears. So if you do have a drier skin type, the skin prep before you apply your foundation is really important. I do feel like this foundation will be good for somebody who does have oily combination skin as well. But as you can see, it looks really good. And that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my review and demo on the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. If you did enjoy this video, then please give it a big thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, then please hit the subscribe button down below or by clicking my face inside of the circle right here on the screen. I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you all in my next tutorial, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye. Mwah.